Greetings and welcome to this overview of the Asia Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium. I'm Greg Gammon, the Director of Corporate and Global Partnerships for the Turbomachinery Laboratory, which is the organizer of Asia Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium. I'm joined by Mr. Dag Calafell, Chair of the ATPS Industry Advisory Committee, who's responsible for producing the technical program at ATPS. Hi, Dag, and thanks for joining me today, and especially thank you for your expertise in guiding this upcoming ATPS program.
Hey, Greg, it's my pleasure to be here. As you know, the ATPS program is very special to me, as well as the TPS and the Turbo Laboratories. We've used your programs in the past for workforce development, both for our young engineers and our experienced engineers. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So I know you're likely going to discuss this shortly during our presentation, but just briefly, give us your impression coming from an industry background of what to expect from ATPS.
So ATPS is pretty unique in that it is the only machinery or rotating equipment related program that matches industry and end users, consultants, OEMs, in a manner that you share your expertise and your solutions across the board. So by having a huge networking component and by having several delivery mechanisms, we manage to elevate the capabilities of the industry, as well as sometimes develop best practices that are shared across the globe.
Excellent. So if you were able to attend only one day or just for a short amount of time, what do you recommend is the most important aspect of this symposium, the must-see portion, if you will?
So that's an excellent question. Obviously, you should make the time to attend more than one day. However, on any given day, we have a lot of what are called case studies. Case studies, as I'll explain later, is a very important aspect of our work where you troubleshoot an issue and you solve a problem. By doing so, you are communicating to the rest of the industry what they can expect and how they can resolve that problem. The point being is case studies are important. They happen every day. I would choose a day, however, when we also have a panel session. We have two panel sessions,
Right.
And one on career and industry, the other one on digitalization. Actually, its title is Operational Excellence Through Digital Transformation. And they have been well attended in the past, so I would not miss at least one of those panel sessions.
Excellent advice. I appreciate your perspective, Dag, and thanks for sharing that. We'll come back to you shortly as we move on to our presentation that's going to cover both the Texas A&M Turbomachinery Laboratory as the organizer and then the Asia Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium. The Texas A&M Turbomachinery Laboratory has the motto, making a vital impact through research, education, and workforce development. The Turbomachinery Laboratory is organized under the Texas A&M University system under the Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station, which is one of several agencies within the system that address research and professional education opportunities for agriculture, transportation, and of course, engineering. Texas A&M system has 11 schools located in the state of Texas and one school in Doha, Qatar, with a total enrollment of 165,000 students. 70,000 of those students are located at Texas A&M University's flagship campus where we are located in College Station, Texas. And those students and faculty contribute to the operations of the Turbomachinery Laboratory as well. Dr. Eric Peterson, the director of the Turbo Lab, has been with the Turbo Lab now for 10 plus years and has been director for the past 2 years, having replaced Dr. Dara Childs, who was the longtime director of the Turbo Lab and really was instrumental in turning the Turbo Lab and its programs into what they are now. Dr. Peterson comes with both education and industry experience, which is important as we discuss our mission areas of impact, which include research, education, and workforce development. Workforce development being the continuing education programs for industry, one of the programs being ATPS that we will discuss further on. Our laboratory facilities located in College Station have 12 vibration damped test cells. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, a variety of test rigs coming from mechanical side through combustion and laser diagnostic systems. We have a number of faculty that are professors at Texas A&M University that do the research at the laboratory under 3 thematic areas: rotordynamics and mechanical systems, thermal fluids and combustion, and computational modeling and design. To the right, you see the subspecialties within each of these areas. And we have on our website a research area dedicated to all of these areas that you can explore any particular specialty that you're interested in. The URL of the website will be shown later at the end of this presentation, turbolab.tamu.edu. Also on our research side, we have the Turbomachinery Research Consortium, which is a group of industry members that fund student-led research projects with the help of their academic advisors. These companies are dedicated to funding projects that solve real-world problems. The benefits include, of course, access to all of the research project findings, but also access to the XL-TRC2 rotordynamic codes as well as other codes. And again, this information goes more into depth on our website. We say that the product of our research is really great students. We have 100+ graduate students doing rigorous coursework at the lab. They're prepared for global competency through practical hands-on laboratory training. And at the bottom there, you see equipped with professional ethics and integrity as core values of Texas A&M University. We are very proud that our students graduate with these ethics in mind as they go to work for industry or in their chosen field. Our workforce development programs, including ATPS, also have extended short courses and the flagship symposium, the Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium. The Turbo Pump Symposium began 49 years ago at Texas A&M with an attendance of about 350 people. As you can see, this program has grown into a substantial symposia with 4,750 plus attendees on any given year. The international attendance has been important at this symposium and is one of the reasons that we began the ATPS program. Our delegates that came from the Asia Pacific region consistently told us of the value that they received from this program and that they wish there was a program like this on the other side of the world. We heeded that and therefore created the Asia Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium, which started in Singapore in 2016, returned to Singapore in 2018, and then was scheduled to be in Kuala Lumpur in 2020, April. But of course, we know that a global pandemic prevented us from doing that. One of the key areas that make our symposia so successful is the senior management and management representation at the symposium. These are seasoned professionals who are sharing their knowledge to help industry people, particularly newcomers, learn more about how to be successful in what they do. And at this time, I want to turn it back over to Dag, who is our chair of the Asia Advisory Committee.
Thank you, Greg. That was very interesting learning about Turbomachinery Laboratory for our viewers. As I mentioned earlier, I retired from ExxonMobil a couple of years ago, and we always valued what ATPS and TPS brought for our colleagues as far as education. As you can see from my bio here, I have both industry experience in the oil and gas industries at ExxonMobil and at Koch Industries, and at Exxon Research and Engineering Company, as well as industry experience in manufacturing from Precision Cast Parts, Praxair, and Koch Industries. So I can look at this industry from both sides and provide a perspective of what is really needed to continue to move us forward. In the next slide, you will see a little bit more about this. So as the chair of the Asia Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium, we pride ourselves in developing a program that is for the industry, by the industry. As you'll see in a bit, the advisory committee is very varied across all aspects of our industry. We have innovative presentation types. By this, I mean that our content is delivered in several different ways that allow us to connect with the end user and for them to extract the maximum value from our presentations and from our colleagues. Another thing that makes ATPS and TPS unique is that 6 months after we have the symposia, the technical content resides in a database that can be accessed worldwide by anyone, going back, as Greg mentioned, since the inception of our program. And finally, we have a lot of collaborators in our field. I had mentioned the suppliers and I mentioned the end users, but we also connect across all of the regional universities, and any full-time student that is taking classes can attend for free, as well as the entire faculty. So we'll continue with who supports us and who presents with us. Here you can see author and presenter companies, and you'll notice that there are majors that are international, but you'll also see a lot of regional companies. And these are leading industry and academic organizations that collaborate with us and that make us successful in creating the future leaders in our industry. Of course, none of this would be possible without funding and support from key members. Here you see that our platinum sponsor for 2021 and 2022 is Petronas as our platinum sponsor. And then as a gold sponsor, we have two of the Mitsubishi companies, the Power Systems Company, as well as the Compressor Corporation. They have been with us since the onset of ATPS in 2016. Also, we are supported by the Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, who's been very helpful in transferring the ATPS program from Singapore to Malaysia. Below, you'll see all of our supporting partners. Again, some more agencies that are critical to us from Malaysia, as well as engineering organizations. We have a special relationship with the Vibration Institute that extends not just to ATPS, but to TPS. And then there are the 9 universities that are listed at the bottom. We've talked a lot about the advisory committees and their role and their leadership, both in the industry as well as in our program. They help us to create a world-class technical training curriculum and program. And it is really through their efforts and their knowledge and their contacts and network that we're able to do so. The advisory committee represent top-tier companies from various industries, which include the oil and gas, chemical, water, power, and aerospace. So again, we develop a program for the industry, by the industry. So as we've mentioned, industry-driven companies and companies that support us, all the companies on this slide are folks that have offered up the talent of their top engineers in order to make us a success. And they do that for the same reason that I started talking at the beginning of this video, which is we provide an unparalleled ability to help them create better engineers, both at the entry level and at the experienced level. The folks that these companies are providing to us are heads of rotating equipment reliability, they're general managers, they're principal engineers. They are the cream of the crop from their company, and they believe our role in helping them be successful. So I mentioned before our innovative presentation types, and I won't go through these in a lot of detail, but Greg said that we make a difference. Well, we make a difference through short courses, lectures, and exhibition. The exhibition is an important component where some of the engineers that have not seen the hardware and the capabilities of the leading companies can actually talk face to face with the experts from the headquarters, not just regional representatives. And why do we say we do it a different way? Well, there are different aspects to our industry. There are tutorials where you teach people how to solve a specific class of problems. But more importantly, we have case studies, which is practitioners in the field showing how does a problem manifest itself, how do you troubleshoot it, but more importantly, how do you successfully overcome it? So our case studies are very popular because of that reason. We also have technical briefs and discussion groups. In the discussion groups, we pair industry leaders and delegates, and everyone participates collaboratively to try and end up with the best practices for some of our common problems. And finally, I mentioned the panel sessions earlier. They've become a very popular part of our program as well. I had also mentioned about the free technical content, and there is 48 plus years of knowledge in our database, and there's no access restriction, no charge. And in fact, many of these papers are there for reference as we advance the state of the art in those particular fields. The current proceedings are available after 6 months of the event taking place. So how do we connect with the next generation? We mentioned the 9 universities, and we mentioned that they can attend for free. Well, why do so many of them attend? Well, they benefit by networking with industry leaders, learning what their contribution can be to the industry based on what the industry challenges are. They get to talk to others that have had exciting career paths and opportunities, not just locally, but regionally and internationally. And they gain practical knowledge so that these graduates are ready to hit the ground running, and they very much appreciate the ability to do that. We also encourage soon-to-be engineers and technicians to join the workforce. And in that manner, we continue a stream of talent coming into the industry and maintaining its vibrancy. We have a saying which is learn, innovate, and connect. We think that is, in a nutshell, what we bring to the industry. You learn what to do better. You provide insights, and those insights are shared both in the academic community as well as the experienced industry. If you look at the slide on the right-hand side, there are 5 students that came to ATPS in 2018, and they said to us that we're helping them become the next leaders in this industry. The slide at the bottom are the current leaders in the industry that are highly valued and that are referenced as world authorities around the world. So we develop young engineers into seasoned professionals, and we ensure that the network and the exchange of the ideas impact the industry, improve our profitability, and maintain us as world leaders. So thank you for allowing ATPS and TPS to be part of your educational growth.
Hey, Dag, excellent presentation on ATPS. I've been involved in these programs now going on 5 or 6 years. I know you've been involved in them much longer, but I get excited every time one of these programs comes around. And just listening to you explain what is happening or what will happen at ATPS, I hope generates a great deal of excitement with the rest of our audience.
Maybe they'll be more excited when they hear that our next event for the Asia Turbomachinery and Pump Symposium starts on February 22nd, 2021. It's virtual. We will have short courses. We'll have 6 short courses on that date. Very interesting topics, steam turbines, compressors, rotor dynamics, again, taught by industry experts that are sought after and referenced throughout the world. Subsequent to the short courses, then we run into a 4-day symposium. It will be running from February 23rd to February 25th, and it will take place from 8 a.m. to noon in local time in Malaysia. That symposium was postponed. It was supposed to be a live event. The good news is, yes, this one is virtual, but we do have a live event coming almost on its heels. It is scheduled for mid-May of 2022, and we hope to be back at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Center. You can see from my background, these are the Petronas Towers adjacent to the Convention Center, honoring our platinum sponsor, Petronas. And we're very excited to go back to Malaysia, but more importantly, we're happy to present the program that's coming up on February 22nd through 26th.
Right. So in your presentation, you mentioned the value of the delegates interfacing with the exhibitors. We won't have that big an opportunity in the virtual platform, but coming back in 2022, we'll certainly be able to help the young people get in front of those seasoned engineers from leading companies. So we're very excited about that.
Let's talk just a little bit about the virtual environment. So I've been involved in several symposia during this period of the COVID-19 isolation. And I honestly have to say that these virtual symposia helps you maintain the contact with the industry leaders and spins up both old relationships and reminds you that you shouldn't be isolated in your issues, that the industry has a lot of experience, there are a lot of resources, and there's a lot of people willing to help you. So the virtual symposium albeit it's not the same as having the common word are collisions at a coffee bar and getting to know someone face to face. But in reality, they still maintain a lot of the value in renewing contacts and in establishing new ones. So I'm very excited again that we have the ability to continue with our program, albeit virtually in February.
Excellent, excellent point. And the Turbo Lab had the opportunity to test drive the virtual platform with our venerable TPS program in December and came away with just outstanding comments about the value of knowledge transfer that still happens even in a virtual environment. So that's all good stuff. We hope many of you will join us for virtual ATPS. The dates are shown here on the screen again. And any questions that come up on any of the Turbomachinery Laboratory programs or any comments you wish to share, you can email me at ggammon.tamu.edu. That's on the screen as well. And hope that we will also see many of you in Kuala Lumpur in 2022. Thank you so much, Dag. And
My pleasure.
we'll see you online again.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.